Hi, Talita. Today is Wednesday of Red Ribbon Week, and it is Love Yourself Day. And I chose this book called Bertolt. It is by Jacques Goldstein, and I love it. And I also have some book recommendations that I will suggest after reading this. Bertolt. Enchanted Lion Books published this. Darn, darn, and more darn. Where's my mitten? I don't see it anywhere. I know. I'll go to the Lost and Found. There are tons of gloves there. Leather ones, wool mittens, even baseball gloves. My mitten wasn't there, so I took one that doesn't match. Who cares? I like it this way. Wearing two different mittens is kind of funny. The only problem is that when you're different, people can laugh at you, or even worse, sometimes people don't like what is different. To tell you the truth, I have a feeling I'm not like other people. Not just because of the mittens. Most people do things together all the time, like Mr. Bavard and his friends, or the Berman brothers, or Miss Brock and her knitting club, or Anna Marie and her friends. But me, I'm what you call a loner. I do stuff all by myself, and it doesn't bother me one bit. Just the opposite. Fishing, baking, chess, night skateboarding through a cemetery. I love doing lots of things by myself, but I love climbing my tree best of all. Bertolt! That's the name of my tree. Bertolt is an ancient oak. I know this because one day workers came down to cut another oak. I counted its rings and got 172 years. Bertolt is much bigger. He must be at least 500 years old. Have you ever counted the rings of a tree? It's pretty cool that you can do that. I love everything about Bertolt, but when spring arrives, his leaves make the coolest hideout ever. It's like a cave, a maze, and a fortress. No one else climbs Bertolt. Maybe they haven't thought of it, or maybe they're scared. Anyone can climb an ordinary tree, but an old oak is something else. The first branch must be 15 feet from the ground. To reach it, you have to go up the trunk, which is like a wall. But I know all of Bertolt's hollows and where to put my hands and feet. It's like climbing a secret ladder. I wonder how many of you guys have climbed a tree. You have to be careful. Once I reach the first branch, I continue to climb. It's like going up a steep, winding road. So forget it if you get dizzy. The cow is like, whoa. When Bertolt is covered with leaves, nobody can see me, but I can see everybody else. I can see Marie, the lawyer's daughter, kissing Kevin. And the Tucker twins, who steal bottles from the grocer and sell them back to him. I can see the postman setting up his traps. And Cynthia eating corn. I'm never alone in my tree. Squirrels scamper in search of acorns. There's a really smart crow who's become my friend. There's an old owl who sleeps all day. I respect him a lot. There are cicadas whose songs are 100 decibels. And there are nuthatches, cardinals, and buntings, all those different birds. There are also some friendly bees, but don't annoy them, not even for a second. I know everything about Bertolt. When I climb way up high, I can see for miles around. When it storms, my tree is an amazing place. I have I have to hold on really tight so I won't blow away. It always surprises me to see the wind press the reeds straight down to the ground. On these days, I take shelter deep inside Bertolt's branches, which sway and creak like the masts of a big ship. I love spring storms. Look at him way up there. I can't wait for spring. Hooray! All at once, the trees burst into bloom. The lime, the elm, the flowering plum, the weeping willow. All except Bertolt. Days pass, then weeks. I wait, I hope, I pray, but finally I have to accept it. Bertolt is dead. When a cat dies, we know it right away. Same with a bird. But with a tree, it's hard to tell. A tree just stands there like a huge bony creature that's sleeping or playing a trick on us. If Bertolt had been killed by lightning or cut down, I would have understood. I know what to do when a cat or a bird dies. But what should I do for Bertolt? I have to do something before Bertolt is turned into firewood, furniture, or toothpicks. I think I have an idea. Rushes to school. Rushes to the lost and found and has a box of mittens. Rides his bike through town. Taking clothespins. Rushing to the tree. Climbing the tree. Putting clothespins on the branches. Giving leaves to Bertolt. And that is the story. So it's a boy who enjoys being by himself and has a feeling that there's nothing wrong. He loves himself and the way he is, and he did something very sweet for a tree who died. And he could still enjoy the tree. My other suggestions are, a lot of our upper graders are reading Wonder. We have this in the library, Augie and Me, 3 Wonder Stories. Love these books, love these stories. What about A Girl Called Judy Moody Was Not in a Mood, Not in a Good Mood? a bad mood. This is great for maybe our second graders who are just starting to read well, and third graders. Another upper grade one, Counting by Sevens. This is a serious book. And one of the things that I love the most is she knows that the most wonderful thing in the world is feeling like you belong. It really is important to feel like you belong. Some lower grade books might be Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. It's important to love yourself even on those bad days and to forgive yourself for having those bad moods. It happens to all of us. I hope you enjoyed listening to Bertolt.